I'm so in the Halloween mood, obviously. I love Halloween and I love everything to do with Halloween. I love dressing up and I feel so myself right now. I feel so good. Hi everybody and welcome back to my booktube channel, Books with Leo. My name's Leora and I talk here about books, basically. And today I have a very Halloween-y video for you, also with some special announcements, and yeah. Let's just get right into it. So firstly, I want to announce that I'm co-hosting the FORTNIGHT FRIGHTS readathon organised by Seiji from the Artisan Geek. I'm super excited to be co-hosting this readathon. I love Seiji, I love her content, I love how well thought out everything always is, and same is with this readathon, it is so amazing. I will be co-hosting one of the live shows as well, together with City of Deja. And I will be co-hosting the live show for The Year of the Witching, written by Alexis Henderson, and Alexis Henderson herself, who has written the book, will be on the live show as well. And I'm so excited. I'm literally beyond excited. I am so hyped. So Seiji, thank you so much for this amazing opportunity and can't wait to see all of you guys at the live show, so definitely come join us. I'm super excited. So some more additional information about this readathon. It is being held from the 18th of October until the 31st of October, which is Halloween. And the main platforms of the readathon are YouTube, Twitter and Instagram. So I will leave links down below so you can follow us, follow the readathon, and yeah, be sure to follow everything that's going on. So the purpose of this readathon is to look a bit further than the standard horror and things we read during Spooky Month. Look a little bit ahead and not just read Stephen King and Grady Hendrix. However, I will be reading Grady Hendrix because I'm basic like that, but Seiji said it was okay, so it's okay. But the general idea is to just, you know, venture out and discover some new spooky reads to read during October. What is very important in this readathon as well is that it doesn't have to be super scary and you don't have to necessarily read horror in order to participate. You can read anything you like as long as it's just fitting for October, you know. So yeah, you will see in my TBR. That's what we get to next. I will be talking about my October TBR. I normally don't really do TBRs and I'm not going to make any promises that I will stick to this one because I think we all know that I read what I want to read in the end, and like, you can try pin me down with a TBR but it will not work. However, I will be talking about some books that I'm going to read for this readathon and some other readathons that I will talk about in a bit as well, and it's more like a sort of guideline and maybe you guys can get some nice recommendations out of it, but it's not like my set TBR or anything. Another readathon that I want to talk about is GOTHTOBER, which is held by Hannah, and Hannah and we collabed because I made the illustrations for GOTHTOBER. She commissioned me to make them and I'm super proud of what I created, so I'd love for you guys to check GOTHTOBER out as well. It's a really cool readathon. And I also know that HARDBACK HOARDER has like a really nice Notion page with all the readathons being held in October on there, so I will link that down below as well because it contains amazing information and also she always does amazing graphics, so really cool, so check that out as well. Everything will be in the description box down below. You know what's a fun fact is that I'm actually wearing joggers underneath this dress. Look, I don't know if you can see behind the scenes. Okay, so let's talk about some books right now. Okay, so I have many things actually on my TBR that will be perfect for October, but I had to make difficult choices for the video, so that's what I tried to do. But these are some of the books that I'm going to be talking about with you guys today. Let's get the obvious out of the way. I really want to read the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. Grady Hendrix is, I think, basically one of the few horror writers that I've read in the past couple of years, and I really enjoy Grady Hendrix's writing. I really enjoyed his other book called My Best Friend's Exorcism. I thought the 80s vibes were immaculate in that book, and some of the friendships portrayed were very interesting. In the beginning they were like very lovely, and then in the end they got very vicious and awful, but in a really interesting way. I love how he like weaves real world things into like more horror genre things, like he does that really well. And I think a lot of you will also have seen this book around on BookTube already, but it's just one that I really want to read. So I've read like some of the intro pages. By the way, this copy is beautiful. If you take off the dust jacket, there's like a public library stamp like within the hardcover. It's really pretty, and the inside has these beautiful pages. Honestly, I love it. So I've read the author's note already, is what I'm trying to say. And basically, in the author's note, he writes about how he sort of wanted to do a fictional experiment where he pits his mum against famous serial killers, like Ted Bundy, but then he also threw vampires into the toss. So it's basically his mum fighting against all these supernatural things. So it's a book club in the southern part of America, slaying vampires, I guess. And I'm really into true crime. I find it really interesting and fascinating. And yeah, that's also why I really want to pick this book up. So really interested to see whether I like it. Okay, so another book I really want to read during October is Witches of Ash and Roan by Latimer. I've started this book already last year. I don't have the dust jacket on, but it looks like this on the back. I've started this already last year, and I don't know, it just didn't grab me the way it was supposed to in my mind. I really wanted to be like sucked into the story, and I just really wasn't. But this is basically about witches, and yeah, I love almost all witch books, so it's not hard to please me. So I hope that when I do pick it up in October, I will really enjoy it. So this book is basically about, God, what was it about again? Right, we have Hannah. What the fuck am I saying? We have Hannah, who's a bisexual witch living in a small Irish town, I think. And her town is very conservative, so it's a little bit of a struggle. And her coven then sort of merges, or like another coven visits her coven, and she really likes the granddaughter of the other coven's leader, but they're sort of enemies, and I think that's where the romance is going to come in. There's probably also like some coven war things on the rise, I'm not really sure, but it just sounded really great, and yeah, I really need to pick it up, and I thought October would be the perfect month. So then, of course, I'm also going to be reading The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson because of the readathon. Honestly, I don't really know a lot about this book. I know it's about witch burnings, I think, probably. Right, it says here, cursed at birth, exiled as a child, now she may be the only one with the courage to save them. I've got no clue, but I like going in a little bit blind, also because I've not read a lot of horror novels and I just want to be blown off my feet. Is that a saying? Probably not. I'm really excited for this one. The cover is beautiful, and yeah, Sadie probably picked it with a good reason because she's so good at making book selections, so I have the best faith in her. I've also seen more people such as Riley Marie talk about this book. I'm just really excited. I really hope I will like it. I've not read a lot of horror novels, like I've said already like 3 times, but I really want to get into it more, so yeah. And I also remember one thing said on the back that really drew me in, which is slow burn horror crossed with a powerfully feminist coming of age novel. This book will haunt your dreams. Feminism, coming of age, slow burn. I'm so ready. I hope I love it. Okay, another book I want to talk about is This Coven Won't Break by Isabel Sterling. I know there's a lot of witch books in this video, and I'd say I'm sorry, but I'm really not. I love witch books. This is the second book in the Witches series by Isabel Sterling, and the first book was called These Witches Don't Burn, and it's basically about another Hannah, I think, who's also an elemental witch. And she's a lesbian, and her ex-girlfriend is in the same coven as her, and it's a struggle. I feel like I'm really repeating myself. It's a struggle, because they have to do things together, like family things, and then they might have accidentally summoned a blot witch. So yeah, it's a struggle. Like I said. This was really fun, especially the first book, and I'm really looking forward to read the second book. Some people said they liked this one better, and I've also heard a lot of people say they like the first one better, so we'll see. Another book I really want to pick up in October is Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. I don't know. Tamsin Muir. I've seen Boston talk about this book many a times, and I was never like that intrigued to pick it up, but then it was October and I was just really looking for something spooky with like scary vibes, and this cover just has all the vibes, so then I was like, I need to try it. Also, I've been on a major book buying spree, so that's maybe also why I picked it up. A book haul is coming to you soon. There's one sentence on the front which explains it pretty well, I think. Lesbian necromancers explore a haunted gothic palace in space. Sounds great to me. I'm not even sure what necromancers are, but I think it's to do with like the undead. And I know that there's also gothic-y, I don't know, I love haunted palaces. It just sounds really good. Also, you guys might be thinking, aren't there any prompts for the readathons, and why are you not following them? I don't know. I've just rounded up some spooky books that I wanted to read in this month, and I just wanted to tell you that I host readathons, like that I host that one readathon, and that the other one is really great, but like it's not that I hate prompts, but I just really like to read whatever I want to read. I don't like to be tied down in that way. I know this might come across so pretentious, but I really don't mean it that way. So if you would like to follow prompts, I know that GOTHTOBER has a really cool prompt, so definitely check them out. But I just looked at my bookcase and picked up some books I thought will be good for this month. That's the level of organised I'm on. So yeah. It says on the back as well, a solar system of sport play, cutthroat politics, and lesbian necromancers. Her characters leap off the page as skillfully animated as necromantic skeletons. The result is a heart-pounding, epic science fantasy. I don't know what else I could want, possibly. And what I also really liked about this book is I opened it and I was looking through it a little bit, and I saw that it has like really pretty like page art and stuff, so that's really cool. Another book that I would love to pick up during this month is Ninth House by Leora. I've already read Ninth House. It was one of my favourite reads of last year. I really loved it, and I think it will remain one of my favourite books for a very long time. Recently, the Dutch edition of Ninth House has come out. I love supporting the Dutch publishing industry because I want to be a writer one day myself, and I just think it's very important to support your local book industry, if possible, of course. I know that a lot of books aren't getting translated anymore because Dutch children are not reading as much anymore. Like, literally, we're doing so bad. I just watched the Dutch evening program yesterday about this, in which they talked about this as well, that Dutch children are like one of the least into reading populations on the planet. And it was so weird watching that because I just can't relate, because I have so many bookish friends that love to read. Of course, we're not children, but like even when I was like 15, so many of my friends love to read, so it's really like, it's such a different experience as to mine. But this is Ninth House by Leora, and this is an adult book, and it's very occult. It's about a girl who survives a mass murder. She gets rescued away to Yale to join an occult society because she can see ghosts, and then she has to help them with occult rituals. It's so good. It's super dark academia. It's very, like, it's got such a great atmosphere, and it's just, the main character, she sucks, but like, it's such an intriguing book to read about, and so many of the characters are very lovable. It's one of Leora's best traits, I think, writing amazing characters. So yeah, I picked up the Dutch copy, Het Negende Huis. Now I have 2 copies of this book, but I don't regret a thing. It's really pretty. I love that they went with like this kind of classic, vintagey looking horror novel vibe. That's why I feel like they also have a blurb by Stephen King, so I feel like they kind of went with that. And then the side pages have these beautiful snakes printed on them. It's so cool. I love it. It's really pretty. And also what I saw is that it has like flip cover art. Oh, it's just so gorgeous. I'm really excited to read this again, and I'm reading it in Dutch to see how the translation is because I'm really interested to see. And yeah, can't wait to experience this story again. Okay, so the last book I want to talk about is A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. Oh god, guys, have you seen this cover? It is so pretty. I'm beyond excited about this, mainly just because the cover is also so gorgeous. We love a good cover. Okay, so this book, I love Naomi Novik. I loved Uprooted. I've read it in, I think, 2017, so it's a very long time ago. And I've never read Spinning Silver, but I wasn't as intrigued by that, and I am really intrigued by this because this is about a magical school, and it's about Elle Higgins, who goes to this magical school, and the school's full of dangers, and it says like there's no teachers, there's no holidays, there's like only dangers and mysteries or whatever, I don't know. It just sounded really good, and I'm just super intrigued. And it says here, she possesses a dark power strong enough to level mountains and wipe out untold millions, and never mind, easily destroy the countless monsters that prowl the school. Except she might accidentally kill all the other students too. That's not practical. So Elle is trying her hardest not to use it. That is, unless she has no other choice. This just really sounds like magical school gone evil. I'm so here for it. And yeah, I love boarding school settings. What else can I say? I'm a simp for this. Let's go. God, I'm so cringy. Okay. So that is my TBR so far. I got really enthusiastic and almost knocked off my beautiful witch's hat. I'm just really excited to read all of these books. I'm really excited to co-host a readathon. I'm just so excited for October, and I hope you guys are too. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!